Captain Lee Hyun stood at the command center of the ESS Pathfinder, Earth's most advanced exploration vessel. The blue glow of holographic displays illuminated his focused expression as he studied the unknown region of space ahead. "Captain, I'm detecting unusual energy signatures," said Science Officer Kim Joo, her fingers moving quickly across her console. "They're structured, definitely artificial." Lee turned to her. "First contact." "Possibly." Kim adjusted her sensors. "The patterns are too regular to be natural phenomena." This was the moment humanity had prepared for. After decades of developing faster-than-light technology, humans had finally pushed beyond their solar system, eager to discover what lay in the vast unknown. Little did they know they were being watched. Aboard the Galactic Council Observation Post, Supreme Counselor Tak reviewed the reports with growing concern. The circular chamber, filled with representatives from 17 advanced species, buzzed with uneasy discussion. "These humans worry me," said Minister Do-Yun, a tall figure with silvery skin. "Our surveillance shows they spend significant resources on weapons development." Ambassador Nari, known for her more moderate stance, tapped the table. "That's not unusual for developing species. We've seen this pattern before." "Not like this," Do-Yun insisted. "Their entertainment glorifies conflict. They compete aggressively even in leisure activities. And now they're expanding to other worlds." The Council had governed this sector of the galaxy for over 2,000 years. Their policy was to observe emerging species, making contact only when they demonstrated sufficient technological and social advancement. Humans were advancing faster than any species they'd monitored before. "They've established a colony on Proxima Centauri," Tak noted, displaying images of the human settlement. "That's designated as neutral territory under our laws." "They don't know our laws," Nari countered. "We've never contacted them." General Minjae, head of the Council's defense forces, stepped forward. "That's exactly the problem. They're expanding without regard for established boundaries. What happens when they encounter the Artaxian trading routes? Or the sacred Volney worlds?" The debate continued for hours. Some council members argued for immediate contact, a peaceful welcoming of humanity into the galactic community. Others insisted on caution, preferring more observation. General Minjae had a different proposal. "A limited containment action," he suggested. "We destroy their colony and leave evidence suggesting natural disaster. This would discourage further expansion while we decide how to proceed." Back on Earth, the United Nations Space Administration monitored the progress of their colony on Proxima Centauri V. Named New Sol, the settlement housed 5,000 scientists, engineers, and their families. It represented humanity's first true step into becoming a multi-stellar civilization. Administrator Park Ji walked through the colony's central dome, where Earth plants grew alongside samples of Proxima's native vegetation. Children played in a park while researchers worked in nearby labs. "Director Sunwoo," Park said into her communicator. "How's the expansion of the eastern section coming?" "On schedule," replied Sunwoo, the colony's defense director. "The new habitats will be ready next month." "Excellent. The next transport from Earth arrives in 3 days with more families." Neither suspected they were being discussed in a council chamber light years away. After much debate, the Galactic Council voted. By a narrow margin, they approved General Minji's containment strategy. Several members, including Ambassador Nari, registered formal protests. "This is a mistake," Nari warned. "If they discover our involvement." "They won't," Minji assured her. "Our technology is centuries beyond theirs. They'll never know we were there." Council Intelligence Director Henul prepared the operation briefing. According to their intelligence, humans possessed rudimentary energy weapons and limited space defense capabilities. The mission would be quick and decisive. Unknown to the Council, their intelligence was fatally flawed. Their observers had missed crucial developments in human technology, hidden in classified military installations deep beneath Earth's oceans and on the far side of the Moon. 1 week later, a Council diplomatic vessel approached New Sol colony. Administrator Park welcomed them with excitement. Humanity's first alien contact. This is an historic moment, Park told the alien representatives, unaware that behind their friendly demeanor, they were mapping the colony's defenses and placing undetectable explosives at key structural points. The aliens departed with promises of returning for formal relations. That night, as the colony slept, orbital platforms moved into position. Captain Lee Hyen, still exploring distant space aboard the Pathfinder, received an urgent transmission from Earth Command. Captain, return immediately. New Seoul has been attacked. Massive casualties. Unknown aggressors. Lee stared at the message in disbelief. Plot fastest course to Proxima Centauri, he ordered. Maximum speed. The first shots in an interstellar war had been fired. The Galactic Council had made a catastrophic miscalculation, one they would soon regret. The morning had begun like any other in New Seoul. Children lined up for school near the Central Dome, while scientists prepared for another day of research. Administrator Park Ji reviewed colony reports in her office, pleased with their progress. The first explosion came without warning. The western residential section erupted in flames as energy beams cut through the protective dome. Alarms blared throughout the settlement. Park rushed to the window, her face pale with shock as she watched orbital strikes rain down on the colony. "What's happening?" she shouted into her communicator. Defense Director Sunwoo's voice crackled back, punctuated by the sound of falling debris. "We're under attack. Multiple ships in orbit. They're the same aliens who visited yesterday." Park couldn't process this betrayal. The aliens had seemed peaceful, curious about human culture. Now they were systematically destroying the colony. "Evacuate everyone to the emergency shelters," she ordered, rushing toward the command center as the building shook around her. On the attacking vessels, General Minjae watched the destruction with clinical detachment. "Target their power generators next," he commanded. Then communications. His second-in-command, Officer Doyen, studied the sensor readings with growing concern. "Sir, I'm detecting unusual energy signatures from their defense grid. It's not matching our intelligence reports." Minjae dismissed his concern. "Minor variations. Proceed with the operation." Below, chaos reigned. Medical teams rushed to treat the injured while defense forces activated the colony's limited protective measures. Small defensive batteries returned fire, surprisingly effective against the Council ship's shields. "Their weapons are more advanced than we anticipated," Doyen reported, unable to hide his surprise as 2 Council scout ships reported damage. In the colony's communications center, Park reached the emergency transmitter. "This is Administrator Park to Earth Command. We are under attack. Unknown alien forces. Civilian casualties are mounting." A blast rocked the building, cutting the transmission short. Fragments of the message reached Earth hours later. Emergency Council Chair Zhou Wan gathered world leaders to view the disturbing footage showing alien vessels firing on civilian structures. "This is an unprovoked act of war," Zhou Wan stated, his normally calm demeanor replaced with cold fury. "We must respond immediately." Defense Minister Yona nodded grimly. "The First Fleet can depart within 3 hours. The second and third will follow within 24. "Do we know who attacked us?" asked a European representative. "Not yet," Zhou Wan replied. "But we will, and they will answer for this." Back at New Seoul, the attack continued for hours. The colony's defenses, though more formidable than expected, eventually failed under the sustained assault. Thousands of colonists huddled in underground shelters designed to withstand natural disasters, not orbital bombardment. Director Sunwoo led a desperate counterattack, using the colony's small security force. They managed to down 1 alien shuttle, capturing valuable technology, and 2 injured alien crew members. "Why are you doing this?" Sunwoo demanded of the prisoners. "We offered friendship." The aliens remained silent, their expressions unreadable. As night fell, General Minjae prepared to deliver the final strikes to completely eliminate the colony. "Prepare the kinetic impactors," he ordered. "We'll make it look like a meteor strike." Officer Doyen hesitated. "Sir, Our scans show thousands of survivors in underground structures. The impactors will kill everyone. That's the point of containment, Minja responded coldly. No witnesses. Before the order could be carried out, his tactical officer interrupted with alarm. General, multiple FTL signatures detected approaching from the Sol system. Impossible, Minja said. Humans don't have ships that could reach us this quickly. The tactical display told a different story. 7 large vessels dropped out of FTL near Proxima Centauri, their energy signatures far more powerful than any human technology the Council had observed. In the Council chambers, Intelligence Director Haniel rushed in with disturbing news. The humans have deployed a battle fleet. Their vessels are significantly more advanced than our estimates suggested. Supreme Counselor Tak's eyes widened. How is that possible? Your reports indicated they were decades behind our technology. It appears, Haniel said carefully, that they concealed their true capabilities. Ambassador Neri stood up, anger clear in her voice. I warned you all. We acted on incomplete information. Now we face the consequences. Aboard the ESS Defiant, Admiral Leona assessed the situation with cold precision. The remains of New Sol colony burned below, thousands of civilians dead or injured. Her fleet had arrived too late to prevent the tragedy, but not too late for justice. Lock weapons on all hostile vessels, she commanded. Prepare boarding teams. I want prisoners for interrogation. Her executive officer looked up from his console. Ma'am, they're attempting to flee. Yeona's expression hardened. Not today. No one attacks Earth and simply walks away. Show them what humanity is truly capable of. The human fleet moved with surprising speed and coordination, cutting off the Council vessels' escape routes. What General Minje had planned as a simple containment operation was about to become the Galactic Council's worst strategic mistake in 2,000 years. Admiral Leona stood on the bridge of the ESS Defiant, watching as her fleet surrounded the alien vessels. What had begun as a rescue mission was now a military engagement. The screen showed the burning ruins of New Sol colony below. Status report, she commanded. 7 enemy vessels trapped in our containment field, her tactical officer reported. They can't escape to FTL. Their weapons are hot, but they haven't fired yet. Yona nodded. Open a channel. On the main screen appeared the face of General Minje, his expression a mixture of shock and anger. This is Admiral Yona of Earth Defense Force. You have attacked a peaceful human settlement, causing thousands of civilian casualties. Surrender your vessels immediately or face destruction. General Minja recovered his composure. We are the Galactic Council, governors of this sector for 2,000 years. Your expansion violated our territorial agreements. Agreements we were never informed of. Yelena replied coldly. You visited our colony under the pretense of peace, then slaughtered our people. That ends now. She cut the transmission and turned to her crew. Prepare for combat. They won't surrender. She was right. The Council vessels opened fire, expecting a quick victory despite being outnumbered. Their intelligence had always shown human weapons to be primitive, their shields basic. They were wrong. The human vessels absorbed the initial barrage with minimal damage. Then they responded. Advanced energy weapons cut through Council shields with surprising effectiveness. Human targeting systems proved more accurate than anything the Council had encountered. On his flagship, General Minje watched in disbelief as 2 of his vessels were disabled in the first exchange. How is this possible? He demanded. Their technology shouldn't be this advanced. Officer Do-Yun worked frantically at his console. They concealed their capabilities, sir. These aren't the simple defense ships we expected. They're purpose-built warships with technology at least equal to our own. A massive explosion rocked their vessel as a human torpedo detonated against their shields. Shields at 40%, reported a panicked crew member. Meanwhile, Colonel Wong led the first human boarding party onto a disabled Council ship. His team moved with practiced efficiency, their powered armor allowing them to overcome the aliens' natural physical advantages. "These aren't primitives," one captured alien officer told another as they were secured. "They fight like they've been preparing for this." They weren't wrong. While humanity had genuinely sought peaceful contact with alien life, Earth's military had always prepared for the worst. Hidden facilities throughout the solar system had developed technologies specifically designed to combat potential extraterrestrial threats. Back on the Defiant, Engineer Donghae made a critical discovery. "Admiral, I've analyzed their shield frequencies," she reported excitedly. "They operate on predictable patterns. We can recalibrate our weapons to bypass them completely." Yelna smiled for the first time since the mission began. "Do it." The next volley from the human fleet cut through the alien shields like they weren't there. Within minutes, all Council vessels were disabled or surrendering. As human forces secured the alien ships, medical vessels descended to New Sol's surface. Rescue teams worked tirelessly to save the survivors trapped in collapsed buildings and damaged shelters. On Council Station Alpha, news of the defeat spread quickly. The Council chamber erupted in chaos. "You assured us they were primitive," shouted one representative. Supreme Counselor Tak struggled to maintain order. "We acted on the best intelligence available." Counselor Yunji, who had opposed the attack, rose to speak. "This was never about intelligence. This was about fear and prejudice. We saw a young species expanding and assumed the worst." In her private chamber, she made a decision that would change galactic history. Using secured channels, she contacted Earth directly. UN Representative Ji-hoon was surprised to receive the transmission. "You're from the same group that attacked us." "Not all of us wanted this conflict," Yoonji explained. "Many on the council opposed the attack. We were manipulated. General Minja fabricated evidence to make your species appear more aggressive than you are." "Why are you telling me this?" Ji-hoon asked. "Because this war must end before it truly begins. The Council has existed for millennia, maintaining peace between hundreds of species. One terrible mistake shouldn't destroy that legacy." As they spoke, Admiral Yona made her own discovery. The captured alien flagship contained the complete records of the Council's deliberations leading to the attack. The evidence confirmed what Counselor Yunji had revealed. Humanity had been targeted based on manipulated intelligence and prejudice. In her private quarters, Yelna reviewed the files with grim satisfaction. "They underestimated us at every turn," she told Colonel Wong. "They saw our art, our sports, our military history, and concluded we were nothing but violent primitives." "Their mistake," Wong replied. Yelna nodded. "A mistake they won't make again. We now have their technology, their tactical data, and their star charts. If they want a war, we'll give them one they'll never forget." But on Earth, as leaders reviewed both the military victory and Counselor Yunji's information, a different perspective emerged. This wasn't just an opportunity for vengeance. It was a chance to reshape galactic politics forever. The Galactic Council chamber had never seen such division. 7 species officially withdrew from the conflict, led by Ambassador Neri, who stood tall before the remaining members. "We were deceived," she declared, her voice echoing through the vast hall. "Humanity posed no threat until we attacked them without provocation. I cannot support this unjust war." Supreme Counselor Tak watched helplessly as nearly a third of the council departed. 2,000 years of unity fractured in a single day. "This is your fault," he told General Minja once they were alone. "Your intelligence was wrong. Your assessment of human capabilities was wrong." Minja remained defiant. "What's done is done. Our only option now is total victory. We still outnumber them. We still control more territory." "But for how long?" asked Intelligence Director Hanyul. "The humans are different from other species we've encountered." Different indeed. On Earth, the vast shipyards orbiting Mars worked at unprecedented speed. Captured alien technology was being not just replicated, but improved upon. Chief Engineer Taedong stood in the center of Laboratory 7, surrounded by holographic displays showing alien engine schematics. His team had been working for 20 days straight. Their propulsion systems are impressive, he explained to Admiral Yona during her inspection. But they're inefficient. We've already improved the energy output by 30%. Yona raised an eyebrow. How soon can we implement these improvements fleet-wide? 2 weeks, Taeyong replied with confidence. Maybe less. Similar breakthroughs were happening across Earth's research facilities. Human scientists combined their innovative thinking with alien technology, creating hybrid systems more powerful than either original design. Meanwhile, diplomatic channels opened between Earth and the Council species who had withdrawn from the conflict. Ambassador Neri met with UN Representative Ji-hoon in a neutral location. Your people adapt faster than any species we've encountered, she admitted. The Council has existed for thousands of years, but we've grown complacent, rigid. Ji-hoon nodded. Adaptation is how we survived on Earth. Our planet forced us to evolve quickly or perish. We believe your competitive nature made you dangerous, Neri said. We never considered that it might also make you extraordinary allies. As these discussions continued, General Minji grew desperate. Council intelligence reported humans upgrading their defenses throughout their solar system. Time was not on his side. We must strike now, he urged the remaining council members. Commit our entire fleet to an attack on Earth itself. End this threat once and for all. Despite reservations, the council approved his plan. Their combined armada, nearly 300 warships, prepared for what they believed would be the final battle. On Earth, the Defense Command detected the massive fleet's approach long before it reached the solar system. They're coming with everything they have, Admiral Yona informed the Security Council. But we're ready. No one outside Earth's military leadership knew about Project Jupiter, a network of automated defense platforms hidden throughout the gas giant's moons. For years, Earth had prepared for potential alien threats by building defenses that wouldn't be visible to distant observers. As the Council fleet entered the outer solar system, Admiral Yona put her trap into motion. Human forces retreated from their outer positions, appearing to concentrate around Earth. General Minje, seeing what looked like a defensive posture, ordered his fleet to press forward. They're falling back to protect their homeworld, he said with satisfaction. Exactly as expected. Officer Do-yun wasn't so confident. Sir, we should approach with caution. The humans have surprised us at every turn. Caution is what allowed them to strengthen their position. Minji snapped. We attack at full strength. The Council Armada passed Jupiter, focused entirely on Earth ahead. That was their fatal mistake. Admiral Yona, aboard her flagship near Earth, gave the order. Activate Jupiter Defense Grid. Across Jupiter's moons, hundreds of previously dormant defense platforms suddenly powered up. The Council fleet found itself caught in a devastating crossfire from weapons they never detected. We're surrounded, shouted Do-yun as explosions rocked their flagship. Weapons on all sides. General Minje stared at the tactical display in disbelief. Impossible. There were no structures there. There are now, Do-yun replied grimly. Human ships advanced from Earth, completing the trap. The Council fleet, designed for attacking, not defending from multiple directions, began to break apart. Within hours, the battle was over. Nearly 2/3 of the Council fleet was destroyed or disabled. The remaining ships, including Minji's flagship, were surrounded. Admiral Yona opened a channel to the defeated general. Your fleet is destroyed. Your position is hopeless. I offer you one chance to surrender. Minji's face showed a mixture of rage and disbelief. You could not have built such defenses without us knowing. You could not have advanced so quickly. You made 2 mistakes. Yona replied calmly. You attacked us without understanding who we are, and you assumed we would think like you do. Both errors proved fatal. As human forces secured the captured flagship, Earth's leaders prepared for what would come next, not just victory, but the reshaping of galactic politics with humanity at its center. 1 year after the decisive battle near Jupiter, Representatives from 27 species gathered at the newly constructed Harmony Station orbiting Earth. The massive space station, built with both human and alien technology, symbolized the dramatic shift in galactic politics. Former General Minje, now a prisoner, was brought to witness the historic signing ceremony. He stood at the back of the Grand Hall, flanked by guards, his once proud posture now bent with defeat. President Yunha of Earth walked over to him as delegates took their seats. "You could have destroyed us all," Minje said quietly. "After what I did to your colony, no one would have questioned your right to eliminate our species." President Yunha studied him thoughtfully. "That would have proven your assumptions about humanity correct, wouldn't it? That we're nothing but violent primitives." Minje had no answer. The truth had emerged during the months of trials and investigations. Humans had detected alien observation years earlier than anyone realized. Instead of reacting with fear, Earth's leaders had pursued two parallel paths: peaceful expansion while quietly building defenses. "We never wanted war," Yuma continued. "Even now, after all you've done, we still prefer peace." At the center of the hall, Ambassador Wujin took his position at the podium. As Earth's representative to the new galactic cooperative, he would lead the signing ceremony. For too long, the galaxy operated under the assumption that older meant wiser. Wujin began. The Council ruled for thousands of years, believing their experience made them superior to emerging species. The delegates listened intently, many from former Council worlds, others from species that had never been granted full membership. "Today we forge a different path," Wujin continued, "one based not on age or military might, but on mutual respect and the understanding that diversity brings strength. The stars offer enough for all of us." The first to sign the new accord was Supreme Counselor Tak, his hands slightly shaking. The once mighty Galactic Council would be dissolved, replaced by the more equal Galactic Cooperative, where all member species would have an equal vote. Ambassador Neri signed next, representing the 7 species who had first broken from the Council to support humanity. "Your people have taught us much in a very short time," she told Wujin. "Perhaps most importantly, that being different does not mean being dangerous." One by one, representatives came forward. Some had fought against humans, others had remained neutral, a few had secretly helped. All now recognized the new reality. Humanity would play a central role in galactic affairs despite being newcomers. In the research section of Harmony Station, the true power of this new alliance was already evident. Human scientists worked alongside alien experts, combining their knowledge in ways previously unimaginable. Dr. Kim Ju-woo, once science officer aboard the Pathfinder, now led a joint research team developing new medical technologies. Her alien colleagues marveled at the human capacity to make intuitive leaps that their more methodical approaches missed. "You think differently than we do," her assistant Do-Yun admitted. The young alien had once served in the Council fleet but now dedicated himself to healing. "You see connections where we see only data. Different perspectives make us stronger together," Kim replied with a smile. After the signing ceremony, Admiral Lee Hyen, the same captain who had first detected alien signals years ago, stood at the observation deck. The vast window showed Earth below, beautiful and blue, while beyond it stretched the galaxy now open to human exploration. Science Minister Kim Ju-woo joined him, datapad in hand. "The first joint exploration vessels launch next week," she said. "Human and alien crews working together to map the unknown regions." Lee nodded. "When I commanded the Pathfinder, I never imagined this outcome. I feared first contact might end in disaster." "It nearly did," Kim reminded him. "But here we are anyway." They watched as ships from a dozen worlds moved through space around the station, their designs as varied as the species that built them. Some had fought each other mere months ago. Now they trained together, traded together, worked together. "We were never the barbarians they feared," Lee said thoughtfully. "We just needed the chance to prove it." "And they needed the chance to see us clearly," Kim added. Below them, the ceremony concluded with a final statement from President Yuna. Let history record that this conflict, terrible as it was, ultimately brought understanding. We move forward not as conquerors, but as partners in the greatest adventure our species has ever known, exploring the stars together. As night fell over Earth, visible through the station's windows, lights from cities sparkled like earthbound stars. Those same lights had once been interpreted as signs of aggression and disorder by distant observers. Now they were recognized for what they truly were: evidence of humanity's endless drive to build, create, and explore, qualities that would now help guide the galaxy toward a brighter future.